Through time and space, I bring you Afro Sheen conditioner and hairdress. Its oils and conditioners help shield your natural from the evils of the elements and help...
Tom Burrell did not create the Afro. He helped the makers of Afro Sheen sell these products to millions. How did he do that? It all started with a class he took at Parker High School in Chicago called Careers, and a teacher who gave him a direction.
And I asked her, and she looked at my results and said, maybe you ought to think about being an advertising copywriter. I said, what's that? And she told me. She told me it was, in effect, that it was a person who basically took their creative skills and used them to convince people, persuade people to buy something, buy a product, buy a service, buy an idea. I like that. It sounded good. And I liked it because it was more interesting. It was sexier than being a doctor or being a lawyer.
Shortly after sharing this information with his classmates, he realized he'd learned a lesson.
It was one of my first lessons. When you decide that you want to do something, if you have any ego at all, go out and tell people that that's what you want to do. Because what that does is puts fire into you and gives you an impetus to go out and do it.
While a student at Roosevelt University, Tom Burrell landed a job at Wade Advertising in the mailroom. But he knew he was a copywriter and believed sooner or later he would have the opportunity to be just that.
Forget about who you are. Think and focus on who you want to be. I carried myself more like a copywriter or like an advertising executive than I did a mailroom guy.
If you want winning looks, get with the system.
After a chance encounter with the office manager, Tom got his break and began writing advertising copy for some of the agency's clients.
A week later, I had a desk. Didn't quite have an office yet, but I had a desk. And I was writing copy for Robin Hood Flour and Alka-Seltzer and a couple of other things. So that's how I got in business.
By 1971, Burrell's entrepreneurial spirit led him to create his own advertising agency.
I mean, people often refer to me as a businessman. I'm not a businessman. There's a difference between being a businessman and being an entrepreneur. I was born at the right time for this, and I came to the right place just at the time when the opportunity was there.
Within a few years, Burrell Advertising would become the nation's largest African-American-owned marketing firm. Tom Burrell was prepared for the challenge, and the opportunity came from an offshoot of the civil rights movement.
The civil rights movement isn't what made the difference. What made the difference was the Black Power offshoot of the civil rights business that made a difference. And not only made a difference to me, but it made a difference in terms of the development of black business based on the fact that black people are not dark-skinned white people. The idea of black identity, black pride, black is beautiful, so forth. If it had not been for that phenomenon, then there would be no reason for me to start a business specializing in the African American consumer market, because it had to be based on the fact that there was something different about this market. And the next thing that made the big difference is McDonald's and Coca Cola, two of the largest advertisers in the world. We convinced the two largest advertisers to allow us to do television. Many of the commercials that we did, focusing on the black consumer market, did better among whites than the general market advertising aimed at the general market. So that was the thing that made the big difference.
Today, Tom Burrell is Chairman Emeritus of Burrell Communications Group. He is recognized as one of the 50 people in America who have made a difference in television. He has received the Lifetime Achievement Award in Advertising, the Honor Medal for Distinguished Service in Journalism, and sits on national boards of many prestigious organizations. His replacements as CEO of Burrell Communications are two of the industry's most accomplished advertising professionals, McGee Williams Osei and Faye Ferguson. They are co-CEOs who have combined their backgrounds and are creating the future of Burrell Communications Group.
I came to the agency in 1984, and I was recruited to work on Procter & Gamble. Tom had just won that account, and he was looking for someone with a classical marketing background, and so it was a marriage made in heaven. I did not, quote, grow up in the black community, unquote. I told Tom, you know, I know marketing, but I'm going to have to learn this black consumer marketing stuff. So that was the beginning of a wonderful, wonderful relationship.
And once I got to Chicago and was on management team, I got to work closer with Tom and Sarah Burrell, and Sarah Burrell was president at the time. And I learned what it was to be there when people need you and to be invisible when they don't. And that's kind of my management style now. I am a stickler for strategy. Are we communicating? You know, an idea can be the best in the world, but if it's not on strategy, it's, you know, you may as well just throw it out the window.
McGee and I think, complement each other extraordinarily well. She is a Spelman grad. She is very much of the community. So you have someone who is there, let's say, from a very natural transformation, and someone who learned it. And the two together are extremely powerful. And so I think that's one of the reasons we really do make a very dynamic team.
Tom Burrell is still an active figure in the advertising and marketing community, but he doesn't ponder on his legacy. His attention is more focused on the future of our people.
I think we spend too much time thinking about how we're going to be remembered instead of thinking about what we want to happen. I want black people to self-actualize and be the truly great people that we can be. And if that can happen, and if I can say I had anything to do with it, I will be very cool with that. That's cool.